What's going on YouTube? It's Luke Waters back again with part 2 of the G8 DoD delete. I did a few things off camera. I'll show you right now. I moved the coolant hose. It was from here to here. Let's just take a look at this thing. It's pretty rusty. I'm probably going to clean it up and paint it so that way it doesn't look as gross. Going back out of the car. I spent most of the day organizing. It looks like a mess, but I got most of my sockets back. I don't want to lose these. I labeled a bunch of bolts. Got those over here in bags. I'm about to put the lifters in some oil to get them soaking, but something that kind of was alarming I took off this focus spark plug. A lot of oil, a lot of residue. So we're gonna look at the valve seals when I take the heads off, and that's about what I'm about to do. I unbolted the exhaust manifold. I'm hoping I can move this back enough to get access to all of the head bolts. I really don't want to take this exhaust manifold off because that is a pain in the butt to do. But we're gonna see what we can get away with today. I'm gonna take off the rockers first. When you take off the rockers on a car, make sure you put them back exactly where they went with what push rod they had. And the lifters doesn't matter because I'm putting an LS7 lifters. But make sure you put the push rod and the rocker together and you store them together, and so that way you don't get them mixed up later on. And I'm probably gonna pop up the valley cover. I'll probably do that very first, actually. I'll probably take off the valley cover, unplug the DoD in the back. That's the payment cover gasket. So yeah, you guys sit back and enjoy the video. I'll do updates, I don't know, every here and there when I'm taking stuff off. Let me know how you thought about the last video with the commentary, if you want more commentary style videos like that. I really enjoyed making that. But without further ado, let's start tearing into this thing. So like I said in the beginning of this video, I went ahead and started to take off the valley cover. One thing I noticed about this valley cover is that it was very corroded and very dirty, and I tried to be careful not to get any of the contaminants down into the engine. As you'll see later on when I pull this thing off, it is held on by 13mm fasteners. I believe there is 8 or 9 of them. They come off pretty easily. It's weirdly enough, some of these were hand tight, like it didn't take a lot of force to get these loose, and these are supposed to be nice and sealed, so I was wondering if I was getting some kind of vacuum leak with these being loose like that. When I went and did it on the Caprice, they were super tight, and they felt like they were going to snap. They were so tight. So be careful. Like I go all the way around, and obviously the impact, guys. If you do not have an impact, please invest in one. It makes like jobs like this go by so much quicker. And like I said, make quick work of this. As you can see, I try to be careful, not losing the bolts. And right here, you grab the oil sensor and kind of pull forward a little bit, and it comes right out. And as you can see right here, yeah, look at all that stuff that falls off. Don't let that get in your engine, guys. That's not good for your engines at all. I just realized something. I came this entire way, I'm doing this DoD delete, and I have not drained the oil yet. Should probably do it before I take the heads off. And about 10 minutes later, got the oil draining. For those of you who may not know how to jack these things up, what I do is, I'll put my jack right there on that frame, and there's 2 spots by the pinch welds on each side where you put a jack stand. That's normally how I did it. It's funny because on my Caprice, the pinch welds are super solid. On this one, they're not. So just double check, make sure they're good. I had to make sure that mine was A-okay. But really, it's not bad. Underneath the car is somewhat clean. I could probably get the pinch welds fixed if I really wanted to. But those work for now. But let's go ahead and get this exhaust broke loose and pull these nasty stock manifolds out. Yeah, it fits too. It's just so hard to tell. This thing's so rusted and corroded on what size it really is. 15 feels all right. Oh. Okay. Oh, I got it. Okay. 1 down, 3 to go. Oh, they're good, man. Kill it. There's a broom right next to you.
I know, do you feel safe?
Yeah, kill it. There's a broom right next to you.
Don't murder it.
Well, kill them.
Let's go outside.
No. Why would you put this right outside? So after me and my girlfriend stopped arguing about what to do with the baby spider eggs we found in the garage, rest in peace spiders, I went ahead and tackled the rockers. They were held on by 8mm. They're pretty tight, so get yourself a good sized ratchet to get these things off with. And like I said, once you break them loose, feel free to use an impact to get these things off a lot faster. Now the rockers, like I said in the beginning of the video, make sure when you store them in a way that you know the push rod is going with the rockers that you put back in the car. A lot of times it doesn't really matter. It probably honestly does, and they're all going to wear the same after 200,000 miles. They're probably all going to be worn in anyway. But just for safe measures, get them closed so that way you don't screw yourself later on. Like I said, I go ahead and start loosening these head bolts. They are 15mm, held on extremely tight. Had to get out my 1/2-inch breaker bar and really work on these things. Now, I did not take off the exhaust manifold. I got both nuts loose, but the exhaust manifold was so stuck together I couldn't get it off, so I'll have to do that at a later time when I decide to do headers. But for now, I got it off. I was able to work myself some more room on the sides by bending the manifold down and pulling it up as I was taking these head bolts loose, as you can see. But like I said, take your time, get plenty of wrenches for this, get different styles, different extensions, and within some time, it'll come off. Like I said, just take your time with it. It's not a quick process whatsoever. If I got the manifold out of the way, it would have been so much easier, but with a little bit of work and wiggling, the heads are ready to come off. One of the heads are off. The cylinders don't look too bad. Actually, don't look bad at all. Plenty of scoring in the block still. Everything's looking pretty good. Good, good, good. Let's get these DoD lifters out so you guys understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, because they're right here and they are nasty. So with the old lifters finally pulled out of this thing, it feels so good to be one step closer to getting this DoD removed. Unfortunately, I did not get a close-up on these lifters, and they're in the trash right now, so I can't really go out and get a picture of them, unfortunately. Maybe for my next video, I'll do an explanation of why DoD is bad, but basically it's a lifter with a spring on top of it, and what happens is when you're on the highway, your car goes from 8 cylinders down to 4 cylinders, and it's supposed to save you money on gas, but to be honest, I think it makes your MPGs a lot worse. I've heard a lot of people losing MPGs with the displacement on demand being activated in the car. A lot of people tune it out. That kind of works, but you still have those unreliable lifters in there that can fail at any moment. Luckily, when I pulled these out, the lifters look great. I have not pulled the cam out yet at this point. Still working on part 3. Turns out the cam I got wasn't the cam I thought it was, so I have to get a different cam. I'm going to make a video completely about that tomorrow where it explains on why looking at cams is important before you're buying them. Now, in this upcoming part, taking off this head was a nightmare for me. For whatever reason, this thing did not want to come separate from the block. I was having a hard time getting to some of the bolts, especially the one in the back. I don't know why I kept having a hard time getting it, but at this point, I'm just getting very tired. I was very exhausted. I was ready to be done. I just want to get the head off and call it a day. And as you guys are about to see, this is what happens when you work on a car nonstop, and you force yourself to keep going no matter what, and frustration just suddenly took over. Literally stuck on everything. Get. God, son. God damn. What the f, man? Yeah, there's a little on the other side. I'm bending the wire loom up, dude. God. I'm cool now. My thumb really hurts. But the passenger side head is currently off. Get this head gasket out of the way. This thing did not want to come off. I don't know what the hell. Now I need to inspect all that wiring. Look at this, look at this. This did not want to come off. Wow. Good Lord. But, wire, what was up with that, man? Like, wow, that did not want to come off. Usually they pop right off. Oh well, get some more wire loom and I'm tired. I'm not even gonna pull the lifters out. I'm done. Need a break. It's been about 4 hours since I've been working on this thing. And, Man, that was bad. I've never had a head stick like that, dude. Like, God, like, can I see what the heck that is? There like a, yeah. This is what it was. These wiring clips. Why would you wire to the back of the head? Anyways, I'll get wire loom and get that fixed up. I don't think I pinched any wires. I just think it's just exposed. So we'll patch that up, make it look nice. I'm calling it a day, guys. Here we go. The DoD is going well. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up, answer if you haven't already. It's been Luke Waters, and I'm going to the doctor's office.